What's going on, everyone? This is Brent from the Trading Fraternity, and I'm here today with another requested tutorial from our Citizen program. And they basically just want me to go through my morning routine when it comes to scanning the news for stocks. And, just because as expected, newer traders, they don't really know what to look for when it comes to the news in the morning. So, like I said, what I'm going to do is just go through my routine. And obviously, it is 7 o'clock here at night. We're not going to get the up-to-date information as we would be getting in the morning. So, but this is still my routine. But anyways, let's get things started here. I am living in California at the moment, so I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is 8 o'clock Eastern. So that basically gives me an hour and a half to go through the news before the actual market opens. So the first thing that I do is roll over, grab my phone, and I check the opening lines. When I say the opening lines, I look at the quotes of the stocks by looking at the Thinkorswim mobile app. And I just basically just get a quick sentiment, a quick glimpse of the whole overall market, just to kind of know what I'm going to be expecting when I head to my desk in the office. And for you guys that want to know how to get that app for Thinkorswim, go to our tutorial section. You will find a video on there how to get the mobile app for Thinkorswim. So anyways, when I actually get out of bed and I go grab a cup of coffee, I like to read Business Insider's 10 Things Before the Bell. So let me actually pull this up for you guys. I personally use the mobile app for Business Insider to read this, but obviously you can see it's accessible to the website. So the title here is pretty much self-explanatory. This is 10 things that you need to know that is happening in the market right now and has happened in the overall global market. So it pretty much gives you another sentiment of what is going on for the day here. Let's just scroll through here. Obviously, today was Fed Day. They had their announcement at 2 p.m. So if I was reading this in the morning, I would be specifically looking at 2 p.m. for this catalyst of the Fed announcement. Scroll down a little bit more. Like I said, it's telling you what's going on in the global markets. It tells you what's going on with specific companies. As you can see with Valiant here, they are trying to sell their drug unit. And I'm just scrolling down a little bit more here. You can see they cover the earnings reports that are coming out, economic data, so you can look out for those. Obviously, I'm briefly going through this website just to go through the headlines, but if you actually want to read the headlines more in depth, all you have to do is just click it. And what I'm doing is clicking the article for Valiant here, and it will pull up an actual article for you. So you're able to read more than just a paragraph. You actually have a full-on article and gets you prepared for the day. So maybe you can find a potential trade out of this. So let me just click back here. So after I read this, I'm usually making my way up to my office upstairs, and I'm pulling up my systems. And what I do is actually pull up obviously the Thinkorswim platform here, and I have Trader TV, which streams CNBC for me. So I'm able to see if there's any kind of breaking news or any kind of economic data that is coming out that will be playing right here for me. So, and I'm gonna give myself a plug again. If you guys want to know how to get this platform itself and just want a brief walkthrough, I do have a tutorial in our tutorial section when it comes to the Thinkorswim platform. So let me get back to our news articles here. So after I pull that up, the next thing that I look at is the Bloomberg's economic calendar here. Now, this is where you're going to find a schedule of any kind of economic report or data that is going to be coming out for the week here. It is always important to be looking at this. I always stress in the chat room to be looking at this stuff because it is giving you basically a gauge of how our economy is performing with this data that comes out. You know, some people debate if it's real or fake, but that doesn't matter. At least it does move the market. And you can always see which report has an influence on the market by looking at the symbols next to it. And the one that I look for is the blue symbol, which is the blue star. It says right down here at the bottom, the market moving indicator has other indicators, but the ones I look for is the blue ones. And as you can see today at 10:30, the petroleum status has an influence on the market, and obviously we covered in the opening bell, the FOMC at 2 p.m. has a blue star next to it, so it does have an effect. And just to kind of give you a little glimpse on the side here, I do have the SPY next to here, and if you look at that time, it did dip down. But anyways, getting back to the news here, I do like to, obviously gives me the whole schedule for the week. So I could just look at this once a week, but I like to look at it on a daily basis because I don't want to get blindsided by a report that happens that I forget about, that happens throughout the afternoon. Obviously, if I didn't know anything about the FOMC that was coming out, it could have been a huge thing if I had a long position here, but thankfully I'm not super long in the market right now. I'm actually pretty light. So after I go through the calendar here, the next thing I pull up is Benzinga's rating calendar. Now, this is where analysts come, now they don't come specifically to this website, but this is where analysts who research companies' financial statements and just basically give a whole research on the companies itself, they like to give valued rating of the stock. And what they do is they give it a rating between buy and sell, and they give it a price target. So they kind of project of what they think, the stock is going to be performing like. So as you can see on here, they do change their rating and they give it upgrades, downgrades, or any kind of price target increases or decreases. So I'm going to use APC as an example here. You can see Credit Suisse here. They did upgrade the stock to outperform from neutral and did increase the price target to 77 instead of, not instead, but from $70 here. And you always want to keep an eye on this list here and just look for companies that you are familiar with, because sometimes these analyst ratings do have an influence on the stock, and you can see if it's like gapping up the stock or gapping down the stock. You can potentially put on a short-term like momentum trade based off of this kind of catalyst here. I'm not saying it's going to happen every single time, but I have traded, some of the Momo stocks that do run on this, like Amazon. But I always say to keep an eye on this because you want to look at these ratings, especially after they report earnings, because you want to see what these analysts are saying after they read the financial statements of where they think the stock is going to go or how the stock is going to perform within the next quarter here. So after I read the analyst ratings page, I like to pull up CNBC's early movers here. Now, this is kind of similar to the 10 things to know before the bell, but this is actually more focused on individual stocks itself instead of the actual market. So let's just scroll down here. You can see Alibaba. They have Alibaba here. It did report their earnings. Scroll down a little bit more. You see Broadcom is buying Brocade Communications for $5.5 billion. And just to kind of scroll down through more here, it covers individual stocks, like I said. So if you want to look for like gappers, like, if a stock is gapping up or gapping down, you can come here and most likely you're going to find a stock that is gapping up or gapping down, or just has some kind of catalyst you want to look for to put on a potential trade. So after I go through this whole movers list here, I actually go to the CNBC main page, their front page, and you can see here I have another tab. I like to read their top news and just skim through just to see if I did miss anything from my previous tabs here. So after I go through all of my my news sources here, the last thing that I do is basically pull up Twitter and I look at the headlines that the finance Twitter community is looking at. I have my usual list of accounts that consist of people like Tom Wrigley and Open Outcry that I read in the morning. And if you guys want my list of Twitter people, I'm more than happy to give it to you guys. Just go to the Citizen program here and hit me up in the Citizen chat and I'll send it to you. And if you guys aren't in the Citizen program yet, I don't know what you guys are waiting for. We have a great group of traders in there. We work together in the morning to put on trades. So come and join us, okay? But anyways, getting back to this here, the main reason why, like I said, I go to Twitter is because if I'm missing a headline or if I missed a headline, one of those guys has put it out there and, makes me more aware of what's going on in the market. So after I do that, the absolute last thing that I do is pull up my Thinkorswim platform and I go to my actual watch list again. Like I did with my mobile app, I like to go to my watch list and look at the stocks that are gapping up, gapping down, and like to see if there's any kind of individual news within the list of stocks that I look at. You can always see if there's any updated news by seeing a yellow symbol indicator right here, and all you have to do is just click it. It's right next to the ticker, and it'll pop up for us, and the actual news will pop up on the stream right here. And all you have to do is just click it, and the article will pop up for you. So let me just close out of that for us here. So that pretty much sums up my morning routine when it comes to going through news in the morning, and those are my news sources. Yes, this might seem like it's a lot of work to do in the morning, especially when you wake up. You know what I mean? But this is the reason why I'm always updated in our chat room when it comes to news. So hopefully this has helped you guys out, and I will be putting links of my news sources in the description of the video so you guys can use them. And if you guys have any other websites that you use in the morning, please drop it in the comments. I'm more than happy to look at it because I want to basically just build up my arsenal of news sources. And if you guys want me to cover anything else when it comes to tutorial wise, please hit me up in the Citizen chat room. I'm more than happy to make these. And if you guys haven't joined the Citizen program, like I said, I don't know what you guys are waiting for. We have a great community in there. We all work together, so we would love to have more of you guys. Anyways, you guys have a great night. You guys take care, okay?